don't build dependency, build momentum, because they're not dependent on me. I am there watching and listening and making suggestions. Welcome to the Business and Pleasure of Flowers. We're your hosts, Vonda
and Lori Wilson, and we believe that business and fun are a perfect combination. Kind of like us, Vonda. Good morning.
Here we are, Lori.
I got my old mug, my OG mug.
Your old mug. I should have brought my other one, but
I still like it, but now my coffee is like lukewarm.
Yeah, I'm into cold water right now. So,
ooh, cheers. I got cold water too.
Yep. Anyway,
I haven't talked to you on the pod since your birthday.
Had my birthday.
How was it?
I loved my birthday. It was a great celebration with family and then with friends this weekend. It was great. I loved my new poster because most of you know I'm 65.
Yes.
But 65, you have to remember, is only 18 in Celsius.
Oh,
you like that?
Nice.
But I don't ever want to go back to being 18.
No. I don't think I do either. Maybe. No, I don't think I do. No, I don't think I do. I don't know. I was
back in the mid-30s.
Yeah, I was texting with Marlon yesterday, which once this airs, it'll be last week, because sorority recruitment's coming up this time of year. And so everything on social media is showing it. And so he was texting me some fun. Anyway, I was like, oh, I did love college. I loved it. Not the academic side, just
the social.
Just
I bet you and Marlon both loved the social.
That's what we did, and we would have totally been best friends in college. But anyway, that's a story for another time, and I will not speak for Marlon, who I know is listening. He will have to come on the pod, and we will talk about it.
Marvelous Marlon.
Exactly. Speaking of sororities and all girls and all the things, here's my segue.
That was a segue. Okay.
We Flower Click, we are trying to do our annual or biannual, whatever, staff retreat.
We're not trying.
Well, we're trying to plan it. We already have everything booked. We just have to plan it.
Everyone is going. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
It'll be so awesome to get everybody together.
And it is the first time that every one of us, because last time Donna, our sales gal, couldn't come because her husband got really sick.
No, she couldn't come because there was a hurricane.
Oh, that was it.
So don't be saying those things because we're not fast.
Yeah. That's right. She's like, I can't leave my husband here with a hurricane.
Correct. Yes.
He is a better woman than me.
Get me out of here.
I would have gotten out of there and said, Mark, hey, text me. Do what you got to do. Anyway, so I'm excited. I'm excited. But I sent you this article because I thought it would be interesting to kind of talk about from a management, business owner, leader perspective. And it's just called Management Ideas I Still Believe After 20 Years of Leading. And I know you've been doing it a little more than 20 years.
I think that's important too. But Lori, I think all of us are leaders. Our team, right? I'm the leader, right? Because Ellie and I, but you're a leader. Cammie's a leader.
Right.
Denise is a leader. Every one of us leads in a different way.
No, I would agree. I would agree.
Like to say that because each one of us, has something they're leading.
Sure. But you and Ellie, you guys are supposed to be and are our models because you are, quote unquote, at the top. We never really talk about that. And it doesn't matter. But if that's not something in our company culture, they're like, hey, we're in charge and you guys, we've never done that. And I don't think many flower shops really do that either. I would be surprised because I'm just speaking from the clickers that I talk to.
Right.
They are all like, I don't know what I do if my designer left, or I don't know what I do if my best customers, they are so.
It's all team. It's about a team.
All team. Yeah. But these are just good reminders.
I really liked this. I read it 2 or 3 times, right? Because I'm like, okay, let me have the gist of this because it really is important when you're leading to know, okay, it's not about, this is what I say and this is what you do and all that. Leadership is hard. Management is hard, Lori. It really is.
We've talked
And
about this before, and I wanna pose the question again. Do you believe there's a difference between leadership and management as far as people? If you were hiring, which one would you look for? Somebody that's got, wow, they have some leadership skills, like, I can see how they would definitely influence our team, or do you look for someone with management skills? Because not all managers are natural leaders, right?
I look for a leader because I think a leader has respect
Mhm.
and they have the trust of the people who are working with them. Management doesn't always have that.
I would agree. I would agree. Okay, so let's go through some of these. The first one, which we talk about this, I talk about this constantly. We talk about it in our last webinar or our last 4 webinars, probably great managers repeat themselves.
I think this person who wrote this article, Tobias Charles, I used to believe experience would teach me a pathway for every situation.
Mm.
Instead, it's given me patterns and instincts that guide me through the unfamiliar. I think that speaks volumes. Before you even get into, yes, great managers repeat themselves, a lot of times our experiences, you think, oh, this is going to make me know everything, right? It doesn't. It doesn't always make you that, now I got it." You don't ever always have it.
No, but it does help you see a possible path.
It does. Gives you those instincts when you get to something that's unfamiliar. When I get to something that, "Ooh, I've never had this happen before, but now I can trust my instincts
Right.
because of." So, anyway, I just
Yeah.
thought that
That is
that
very
spoke to me.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a really good way to look at it. Yeah, his first one was nothing that we didn't talk about before a million times. Repetition should be expected, right?
Mhm.
Keeping your
Mhm.
message clear and simple and asking them not, "Do you understand?" But, "What did you hear me say? What give me feedback. Do you are we all on the same page?"
Didn't this speak to you? I was mistaking as poor communication on my side when I had to repeat myself, when it's actually human nature on their side. People aren't always just on this memorize, "Oh, this is what I need to do."
Right. Especially, I think about what before you and I turned on record, we were on another project working on
Mhm.
the Trello board.
Yep.
And you were like, "Where's that Trello board that Ellie created for us?" And I'm like, "What Trello board? What are you talking about?"
And
"I
what was it
was in
called?
the meeting as you last week." And I'm like, "Oh, crap. I've been working on the Google Doc," right? But
Mhm.
we talked
Yep.
about one time, and I have done 500 things since then. It's
Yeah,
clarity. Thank God you brought me back to the Trello board.
and it was clear when she said it, we got it,
Yes,
but
but it's
then
just one time.
you have to
We
repeat
have to
yourself.
remind ourselves
Yeah.
and be reminded over remember we're using the and I think that's how mistakes happen a lot because we, I'm including myself, can say one thing to Sherry in email marketing, our wonderful Sherry, and then maybe I didn't write it down, I didn't come back, I whatever, I'm just using that as a random example, and then she doesn't do it or whatever, but that's on me, right?
Right.
Because I didn't come up with any kind of
Yeah.
repetition there.
That's why you see me constantly do a loom with a screencast of
Yes,
what to do,
yes,
because otherwise I'm gonna forget how it's done.
I
And so if I do it to share with someone else, then we always have that to back
yeah.
and for me to go back and go, "Oh,
How
yeah.
do we do that? Right.
How do you
I
do
think
that?"
one thing that we can all keep in mind when we do that is we have no idea the frame of mind of that group of people when we're saying this needs to be done. One of them could be sitting there going, "Oh, I left a sick kid at home." So, whatever. And I think that's part of why it's not repeat because they're not going to do it. It's just you
Mm.
don't know what's going on in their mind. Just who knows in that meeting when we talked about the trial board, who knows what the hell else was in my head or
Yeah, you were thinking about going seeing Boone,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I got a pack." Who
Yeah.
knows? And so it didn't get put on a shelf in my brain. I have no memory of it.
No, and that makes all the sense in the world, and you always go perspective, you
It's
know?
humbling. It was a reminder, man, if I'm not gonna remember it, how can I expect somebody else to? So Anyway,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
was the first one, which leads right into the second one, right?
Yep.
Most performances or lack thereof is a clarity
Right.
issue.
Right.
To me, those go hand in hand. He talks about how to make the objective crystal clear. And I'll be honest, I don't think we all do a good job of that.
No. Well,
Internally, we do with our members,
yeah.
but internally, because number one, we're virtual, it makes it a little bit harder. But number two, we all talk so much every day. I'll say something, but I still have part of it in my mind.
And you assume I understand that.
Exactly. And I think this isn't just us. I think this is the world, but we make a lot of assumptions. The other person knows exactly what's going through my mind. And I bring up our photo shoot all the time. That's how I feel when I'm there
Yep.
because you and Ellie assume I know the next thing. I'm like, seriously, I'm an idiot. I do not. I do
Ha
not.
Haven't you done that, Lori, where, like, sometimes you'll write an email and you're like, "I'm not gonna send this yet," and you go back to it and you're like, "Ooh, I certainly missed something on that."
Yes, that is why when you are
Mhm.
sending those kind of emails, my husband was just talking about that. He's like, I have an email in my draft. I'm not going to send it till tomorrow. Blah, blah. And I was like, smart, very smart.
Yeah, and sometimes you leave something out of it and you're like, "Oh my
Yeah, like
gosh,
that
I
made no
totally
sense.
missed
Yeah,
something."
I do that. Like, I'll have saved emails, like when people will email me wanting to know about our click mail program or our prep school courses or things like that. And so I have a saved thing that I can copy paste, but I will tell you every single time I tweak it because I'm like, "That's not clear. That's not
Mhm.
exact how did I not know that before? How did I not see that?"
If I have to send something right away, I find myself writing it out and looking at it again, and then I will drop it in ChatGPT and go, "Does this make sense to you?"
Yeah, yeah. I always say, "Read this for clarity. This needs to be clear and
Yep.
encourage clear and kind," is usually what I say, and then I'll decide whether I'm gonna do it or not. Oh, this one, that you don't need to add motivation when you can remove the friction.
That's the first thing that people try to do. "Oh, I need to motivate somebody." But they don't realize if there's friction there, man.
That I'm working on for my presentation at SAF about having the awkward conversation is basically this. You're just avoiding the conversation, and
Mhm.
whether that's a whole nother podcast, but on why we avoid them. But when you do, you're just allowing more and more friction and thinking if I just throw incentive at them, that's going to solve the problem.
One thing I have to say is that I am so blessed, we are so blessed with Flower Click because I don't feel like I have to do anything to inspire the team. We have
No,
such a self-driven
we really do. Like, how did that happen?
man, really, it
Yeah,
says one of the things is, "How do I inspire my team to do more?" No. Gosh,
yeah.
everyone is I don't wanna say inspired, but
But you said it's self driven. We just had our all staff meeting yesterday, which again, last week when people hear this. And one thing I love about all staff meetings is that I get insight to the web team. If I don't live in that world, I will be honest, for 30 minutes of that meeting, they're talking a different language to me. And I'm like, whatever. But what I love about that is they are all so in it. They're
oh
like, "Here's
gosh,
what we did. Here's what needs to be," like, they are so emphatic about what needs to
how they're doing things,
how
what
they're
they're
doing things,
doing,
what needs to be changed,
what
what we need
still needs to be yeah,
yeah, and I'm like, "Wow."
I love that they have suggestions about
Yeah,
what can be done better or different or
right,
more
right.
efficiently.
Yeah,
All of that. I don't have
and
to
that they are all researching their own but this is what I found, how the workaround, and I'm like, "God, you guys are so freaking smart."
yeah, and they feed off each other. Denise would say something, then Leslie would say something else.
But you have created that culture. When we go back to the word culture, you created that culture too because number one, you have never been, at least that from my perspective, a micromanager.
Mm,
You have put in people, women, in positions where you know your gut, you go by a lot of gut checks,
I do.
they're going to be successful. And yeah, you give them guidelines, absolutely. But that's where I think Flower Click has been so fortunate.
I
We've
I think this next one kind of goes into that. Don't build dependency, build momentum, because they're not dependent on me. I am there watching and listening and making suggestions, Ellie and I, and you do the same. We suggest, but they're not dependent on me.
Mm.
If they
Except
were,
for
we'd be in
price
trouble,
changes,
right?
they are dependent on you for all the price changes.
Oh, there are certain things that they are dependent on,
Yeah.
for sure,
But
but
yeah,
not in the everyday. They
no, that's a
really
seasonal thing. But no, that's very true. They are not dependent on you, and you don't want them to be.
no, no. You shouldn't hire someone on your team that's just like you. You need people with other strengths. And we've talked about that before, Lori. I can do certain things, but gosh, I want somebody like you who can, like I always say, everybody needs a lawyer, Lori. And like Ellie, the creative side who gets things
Mhm.
done, and the Leslies and the Allies and the Sherrys and the Denise and the
Yeah,
Cammys. We have to have each one of us because everyone has their own skills.
everyone has their own skills, and I think, again, that's also in my presentation about having an appreciation for what other employees do, and I think that's, again, why staff meetings are important, to be able to see everybody else and how they do stuff.
I love this. You just need to get the flywheel spinning and then step back and let the momentum
Mhm,
carry it.
mhm.
The
But a lot
momentum.
of flower shop owners that I know struggle with that because they're fearful of
Mhm.
delegating anything because their business is their world.
Yeah, and so then the next one to set up systems to give that framework, and so in a flower shop, that would be our suggestion, right? Get that framework set up that the designers are doing this, they're passing it off for the driver, but somebody else is coming in that framework and saying, "Okay, I'm gonna look at this to make sure this is quality control and price control," and then it can go out the door. So it's that constant making sure the flywheel's spinning, but it also has that supervision or intervention if needed.
It does. This one, to be completely honest, was a struggle for me because I don't like boring systems.
You don't.
I don't
Mhm.
like simple, repeatable, scalable processes, but this is not about me. Our web team thrives because of this.
That's right.
I would think everyone on our web team, Cami, who leads them from to the top down, they have to have
It will.
scalable, repeatable, like do making the donuts every day. They have to know. Whereas I would struggle.
But in a flower shop, when you dumb it down, so to speak, that is it. Simple. I'm gonna make a design.
Right.
I'm gonna repeat that. I'm gonna make sure that I can make
100%.
100 of them.
And
You
you
know?
can take that to our sales prep school, right?
Yeah.
Simple, scalable, relatable. Here's
Repeatable.
do A, B, C, D, boom, you're done. So,
Mhm.
in that sense, I understand it. But when I see exciting outcome begin in boring systems, my brain is like, I don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
No.
And that's okay. That's okay. That's why I'm not.
That's why you're
That's
not
why
there.
I was never asked to be on the web team.
That's why you never did Google
That's why
Analytics.
I never
That's
did
right.
Google Analytics. This one, I think is interested. What's rewarded gets repeated, and it's not always a positive reward, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Y-
This one I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. If you want to change the behavior, change what you praise. And I think the word praise, I wouldn't have used that there because sometimes we reward bad behavior and that's
Yeah.
not with praise, right? But
Right.
it's what do you notice? What do you draw attention to? What do you recognize? What don't you address?
Yes.
Do you avoid talking to the employee that comes in 10 minutes late every day? While everybody else who's on time is looking at it going, she didn't get in trouble. That's reward.
That's the next one. That's the one I highlighted. Your team copies what you tolerate.
Oh,
not what you say.
yeah, yeah,
That one to me was like, "Oh my gosh," because you and I've had many conversations with flower shop owners, which they're like, "Yeah, but if I don't do that, that person might leave, and what am I gonna do if I don't
yeah,
have that designer?" And I'm like, "What would you do if you don't have the designer?" You tolerating that or letting that slide is showing the rest of your team that's okay. And it's not okay. What happens if you let that one person go? Is the behavior of your rest of your team going to improve?
right,
Because they're like, "Well, crap. They're serious. They're serious about what's going on."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been having lots of great phone conversations and doing my own research for my presentation about
Yeah.
and I hear that is always one of the stories about an employee that they either fired or once they left, the owner realized, "Oh my gosh, she was the problem," because she would come to her and be the first to tell her the gossip, I'm quoting that, when and she believed her. She trusted her, right? And then she leaves and she realized, "Oh my gosh, she was the toxic one." Because
Mhm.
the whole culture changed. And I'm like, "That's fascinating," because
Yeah.
sometimes it is that it's not in your face. Like, you're not obviously, I know the problem." Sometimes you just don't.
Yeah.
Um,
That's hard.
yeah,
That's a hard one.
yeah, it's very hard. What was the next one?
You build trust with consistency, not kindness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is
Now,
interesting because I always think it's both.
I was gonna say, I don't think it necessarily means we have to be mean, but
Right.
you hire people that you can trust because I don't know how you run a business if you don't trust your employees. I think
You don't.
yeah,
You don't.
you don't. My husband grew up with the dad that owned a gas station, the full service gas stations back in the day. They were all, everything. But he said when he was a little boy, the one vacation they went on, he came back and the one employee he trusted had stolen a bunch, but like that type of thing. I don't know that every employee will steal, but I'm saying that was a reality. It's why you don't.
Yeah. That's why as a small business owner, you didn't leave.
That's why he goes, "That's why we didn't go on trips."
Yeah.
And
So
we just
true.
didn't because it's hard to have somebody and then he got somebody in that he trusted and it got better and but it was like a relative. It was like a
Yeah.
cousin or somebody that you've known your whole life, and even then, you don't know. I liked this one. This one speaks to me. If you're completely certain about everything on how processes and procedures should go and you just know this is it, get curious, which means open your mind,
Yep.
be open to new ideas
Yeah.
that maybe your employees bring you. Trigger your curiosity, not your certainty.
Yeah. I like that too.
I love this one because it says it's when we've grown too sure of ourselves that mistakes happen.
So true. Yep.
You know,
If I've ever faced a decision I'm not 100% sure of what to do, I've learned to treat this as a trigger for curiosity, not certainty. Don't dig your heels in.
mm-mm,
Get curious and go,
yeah.
let's think about that. Let's think about that.
But I think that's hard because we've always done it this way. This is how we're going to do it. Anyway. And then the last one, leading yourself is the most important thing. Emotional regulation. Again, why I have my little post-it note here. Thoughts ain't facts, baby.
Oh,
Just keep that in mind. Your thoughts, that's emotion, that's feeling, but what are the facts?
you can't remain curious if you can't handle your ego.
Oh,
How do you like that one? Some of these were just one liners that I just kept going, wow.
I think ego, man, that's an interesting word. And it's a trigger word for all of us because we're like, ooh, do I have an ego?
I know.
Yes, yes, you do. We all
Yeah,
do.
we all
We
do.
gotta
We
check it.
do.
We gotta check it every once
Mhm,
in a while.
mhm,
But you can't build systems without a cool head and
mhm.
without being able to step back and analyze. Is there a better way to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. You might discover there's not, but being open. Effective leadership begins with us, how we think, how we act, how we react to things. And going back to one of the very first ones, everybody's watching.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked his ending. After more than 20 years in leadership roles, I'm less certain than I ever was.
Amen. I think certainty is a scary place to live in. And I will say that because I've never lived in certainty. Never. I am always like, "Oh, I wonder if there's" so I don't know what exactly that feels like. But I can tell you in 15 years of doing what I've been doing, when I talk to people, flower shop owners or managers or even employees, I can immediately decide they live in certainty or not because it's struggle for them.
I think the 2 words, when I look at this article and read it and we talk about it now at the end, open mind, which we always talk about,
Mindset,
right? And curiosity. Continue to remain curious as you're trying to become a better leader. I think that's kinda key.
It is because, again, we should never stop growing, right? Whether it's in our business or our personal life or in whatever, like, always growth is a good thing.
Everyone needs a Lori to challenge her into becoming curious and keeping your mind open, that's for
Yeah, but
sure.
don't put me in a process-oriented job.
So I will not.
Because
No.
I will fail. I will tell you immediately, I would not last 3 days. I would just go, "This is boring. I'm gonna go get in my pool."
And I'll say, "Go, that's where your mind
Like, but
is the most open and curious is in that
so
pool."
funny. I think people know that, but anytime I am remotely stressed, Ellie will go, "Go get in your pool." I'm like, "Okay, you're right." And just an hour, and the world is different. I am so happy. Okay, on that note, I think we're done.
I think that's it.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We hope you enjoyed spending time with us because we enjoy spending time with you. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button or add the business and pleasure of flowers to your Google morning routine or your flash briefing on Alexa. We look forward to seeing you next week.
So please come back and join us and discover how a bit of knowledge and one small change in your mindset can take you to new levels in your life and business.